is support relationship with carers and families. It's a very short unit. It's the code of this particular unit is CHCCCS025. CHCCCS025. Support relationship with carers and families. I'm not sure who Nothing AO63 is. Can you please make sure that you have your full names on the screen, at least your first name? All right, everyone, please make a note. This is the unit that you're doing today, which is unit number 11, CHCCCS025, support relationship with carers and families. Under this particular unit, you have 3 topics: include carers and family members as a part of the support team, assess and respond to the changes in the care relationship, monitor and promote carer rights, health, and well-being. So these are the 3 topics that you have under this particular unit. Now, firstly, to start with, so the title of the unit is Support Relationship with Carers and Families, right? So who do you think a carer is? Who do you think a carer is? Question.
It's us.
Okay.
Who's giving the care, who's helping in the day-to-day assistance of the activities,
Yeah, but
who's
who is
performing
it?
the task.
Who is it?
It's us, PCS.
PCA.
Any other answers? Now, the basics of this particular unit are very important because the moment you know, so for example, what is the title? Once again, read the title before you consider your answer. We have to support relationship with carers and families. So how can we be carers?
The carer is the elderly people.
Like the elderly people is a client.
Family members.
A family member or a neighbor or a friend or someone who is looking after the client without any expectations. They may not get any pay for what they're doing. They are said to be as carers. What are we? We are care workers. We get paid for what we do. I repeat myself. If you miss on this one, the entire unit goes wrong. I repeat myself once again. We are care workers and we are supporting the relationship with carers and family members. So carer will be a son, could be a daughter, could be any family member or a neighbor or a friend or a niece or a nephew or someone who's looking after the client because of the love and affection towards the person. And sometimes the carers do not even know that they become carers. Okay, we'll talk about it, yes. But is that clear for everyone? Is everyone clear with who is a carer?
So that's without any monetary gain.
No, they may not get any gains. They might, but most likely no.
Out of affection, they are doing.
Yes, for example, I go and assist my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, my dad. That is, I'm a family member. But for example, one of my friend, because he has been, one of my friend, he has been with me for too long and he's very connected to my family. So he or she is gonna go and help my family members, their carers too. Because they don't have any expectation that I'm going to pay or my parents are going to pay or my grandparents are going to pay. It's more like, especially you see a lot in the rural areas, regional areas, where you have 10, 15 houses close by. And there's one elderly person, people around her might say, hey, how are you doing? Do you need any help? The person might say, yeah, my tap is broken. Can you please come and help me? Maybe yes. I wanted to go for an appointment. Why not? I'll help you. Can I take you on a weekend? Yeah. Is that clear for everyone? So those are the people who are said to be as carers and family members who look after the client. So for this particular unit, it has only 12 questions, and it's a very simple and straightforward unit. If you understand the concept, easy to write the answers. No doubts. Probably you can finish your unit tomorrow in about 1 hour if you're well prepared. Maximum is 1 hour. How simple that unit is. Okay. Now, firstly, before we start discussing further about the carers, I want everyone to do a quick research on how many carers do we have in Australia. The answer will be full of numbers, absolutely full of numbers. Example, certain number of carers, certain million carers, and of them, these many people are female, these many people are male, they're aged this, aged that, one in one in ratio, full of numbers. Okay, don't come up with a simple answer. We have 2.65 million carers in Australia. Not That's not what I'm expecting and accepting in your assessment. Okay, how many carers do we have in Australia? I want you to write that down. I might ask anyone from this classroom. I'm going to give you like 4 minutes, should be more than enough. Yeah. I want you to do a quick research, save the link, and and again, I'm not expecting anyone to answer this way. We have 2.65 million carers in Australia. That's not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a full detailed information. What is the age group? How many of them are female? How many of them are male? So on. It's a research question. Okay. Can we do it quickly? And you have to save the web link as well. And write down your answers on your rough notes. You must write down your answers in the rough notes. Namrata, are you there? Namrata. Dilini, no answers in the public chat. Harpreet Kaur. Dilakshi. Dilakshi, are you there? Harpreet and Dilakshi, just bear in mind, if you're not on the camera, you'll be removed from the session. Right. Deepika Barrel, can you give me an answer? How many carers do we have in Australia?
Yes. There are 2.65 million carers in Australia. 1 in 9 people in Australia are carers. 59% of the carers are women, whereas 41% are men. That's it.
Any age groups?
It says like women is 55 to 59 are provided with the most cares.
Provided with or providing?
No, it says providing. I couldn't find the provided like age group.
That's one. Kavita? Kavita Rao. Kavita, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you please give me an answer, please?
I find like 75% of the females are working in Australia.
75% of
Like most of the females working age care group.
no, that's not the question. That's why you have to be here with me. We're not talking about how many people are working in aged care. We're talking about carers. Now, again, the basics itself, you're missing on it. Who is a carer, Kavita?
The person like who helps in free without money, without like receiving
Yeah.
money.
So why are we talking about
Yeah.
someone who's working in the aged care? Subjeet Kaur?
Yes, sir.
Go for it.
We have 2.65 millions who are working as a carers, and 8.9 to 10.5% are males and 12.3% are females. And
Can you share that link with me in the public chat, Subjeet?
sorry, sir.
Can you share the link? You know, you would have researched, you got it information online, right?
Yes, sir. I
Can you
have
please
a
share that link with me?
website.
Yeah, can you please send me that website in the public chat?
So I have not done from one website. Like,
You have to save that website because you have to write in the assessment.
okay.
Good, Sharon.
There are 2.65 millions, 10.8% of all Australians, 12.3% female, 9.3% male, 235,300 young carers under the age of 25.
Now, is that clear? So when you said Subjeet percentage, your percentage was not stating very clearly that it's the complete population. It's out of the complete population. If you
Yes.
say of the carers, that means 12 plus whatever 9, whatever you said, it's only 23. So what happened to the remaining 77 then? It should be very clear of the population. Am I clear? Or else the answer itself goes wrong. Yeah. Now, so if these people say, these many people, I want everyone to save that information. I'm going to ask tomorrow as well. You got to bring that information to the class. Okay. Now, if these people say, oh, no, we can't look after this person because we have our job to do, we don't have any money to pay or whatever, and then they say that, nah, we can't do much about it, So we can't look after this person, and they step back and say, no, we can't do it. What happens after that? Who will look after these elderly people or vulnerable people?
PCS?
They may not have that much money to pay all PCS.
Family member.
Volunteer workers?
Family members.
For family members itself are saying we can't look after because we have our own work and we don't really get paid. We don't have really much to do. You might provide assistance as parent. Yes, I'll support for a day or two, but I can't really look after this person every day because I've got my own issues.
Volunteer
I've been-
people?
I've been having different challenges that I'm facing. We get no support. So we're not going to look after this person. You know, they've been paying taxes to the government and government should look after them. That's true though. They've been paying taxes for whatever number of years. They've got their super. They'll probably use their super, but still they might need additional support as a part of the healthcare. So the burden completely goes on the government. Is that right?
Yes.
So the government has to pay a lot of money. And in spite of government paying a lot of money, they might still not be able to actually achieve the happiness of the person because obviously the person wants to stay home and not everyone wants to go to aged care. There are different other challenges the government has to face in spite of spending a lot of big money. Yeah. So what government has realized is carers play a very important role. Yeah. They have realized that carers do play a very important role in looking after the clients. So they have decided that let's help them in some or the other way so that they can continue to look after their elderly people or vulnerable people. Is that clear for everyone? And that is the reason you're doing this particular unit, to understand what government can support and what kind of challenges could a carer face so that they can continue to, and what kind of support service they can receive so that they can continue to look after the person. Is that clear for everyone? Is everyone clear? Should I repeat? All right. Now let's talk about a scenario to understand this better. Now, usually, so why am I doing this particular unit? As a part of our responsibility, we might go to a client's home still and support the client, and we might be interacting with carers as well. You know, when you go to someone's home, you are supporting the client, but at the same time, you might be having a client's son, daughter, granddaughter, or a neighbor who is looking after the client. Yeah. So you might be interacting with them. So you might come across some challenges that they are facing, and you have to support them. That's why you're doing this particular unit. That's why it says support relationship with carers and family members. Okay. Now, so from mainly you go from home and community care to assist the clients and their carers as a part of your role. So when you are assisting, let's take a scenario to understand this better. So let's take a scenario of Mary and Peter. Okay, this is the scenario that I usually take to make students understand better. Now, Mary is a mother, 85 years old. She is looking after everything at home. She cleans, she does everything by herself. She even packs lunch for Peter. And she is, she is well, health-wise, she's doing well. And she has been doing everything at home. She doesn't need any assistance at the moment. All right. But what happened is, and Peter, let me give you a little bit of information about Peter. Peter has a girlfriend, and they're happy. He's a happy guy with his girlfriend as part of whatever the relationship is. And he also earns well. He makes about $150,000 a year working as an accountant. He works full time. They're happy, but they have moved from London to Australia. They're settled in Australia from London. So they don't have many people here in Australia, but they have moved here. And Mary also has a daughter who lives in Sydney, and she is very busy with her family because she has 3 kids. And her husband is most of the time overseas. So she is looking after the family most of the times. So she doesn't have much time to do anything else. Now here in Melbourne, Mary and Peter, they live together. in one home. And one of the days, what happened is Mary had a fall and she hurt her hip very badly, where it has caused a hip fracture. And she ended up in a hospital. She got the treatment done. But however, in the hospitals, they only provide treatment. Clients don't stay there to recover. Recovery is at home. So once she has received the treatment, she came back to her home. However, she's having diabetes and other issues. So it will take time for her to recover. All right. So there's no one else to look after Mary. Now, Peter is the only person who has to look after her. So Peter has decided, as a part of his responsibility as a son, he has decided to reduce his work from 5 days to 2 days. And he's asking you to come on Monday and Tuesday and help his mom. Or Monday and Wednesday exam to help his mom. So what kind of challenges will Peter face in this scenario? Peter is the carer. Am I clear with this scenario, everyone? What are the issues that a Peter could face? The Peter could face. This carer, the carer.
Maybe financial issues.
Because he has reduced his work, so he'll be having financial issues, and obviously because Mary had a fall, and since she has diabetes, sometimes she may not be able to reach the toilet on time, so she needs some pads to wear. Pads are expensive. He has to pay for the pads. She has to go for hospital visits and doctor's appointments, where she might need a bigger taxi, so he has to pay for it as well. Financial issues. Any other issues?
Responsibility wise.
Yeah, what are the issues?
Cooking food,
Hmm?
cooking food, preparing all the.
Cooking food. Peter doesn't cook very well. He's not a great cook because he has never cooked. Mom was always cooking and packing his lunch as well from years. So he might be having challenges with household chores. Anything else?
Personal care of Mary, like taking for the bath, going for the bath alone. He might find it difficult to take care of Mary.
Physically, he might get exhausted as well, because he has to do household work, he has to do his job, he has to look after mom, he has to clean. Physical exhaustion. Everyone is writing it down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
It could give him stress also. He might be stressed.
Depression, stress, anxiety. Mary wakes up 3 to 4 times overnight because she has got diabetes. She goes to toilet 3 to 4 times overnight, for example. Can Peter sleep at night?
Lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep. Anything else?
Frustration.
He might be frustrated over these issues, yes. Emotional issues again. Any other issues? Now, Peter's girlfriend said that you don't even meet me anymore because you're busy 24/7, looking after your mom or doing job. I don't want to be with you. I want to break up.
Personal issues.
So relationship breakdowns. Relationship breakdowns. Peter used to go clubbing every Saturday. Can he go clubbing now?
Socialization.
No socialization.
Social isolation or lack of socialization. Now he has reduced his work to 2 days. Do you think he'll be progressing very well in his career with 2 days? Lack of opportunities, of loss of opportunities of career progression. Loss of opportunities of career progression. Now, these are some of the issues that a carer could face. Is that clear for everyone? Now, these are the challenges a carer faces. Emotional well-being is affected, exhausted, lack of sleep, financial difficulties, feeling of loss and grief, breakdown of a family relationship or relationship breakdowns, physical health and well-being can be affected. He might be isolated from social participation. So these are some of the issues a carer faces. Am I right? Clear? Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Everyone need to be very clear with the issues. I want everyone to bring at least 8 issues. Tomorrow, I will not be discussing most of the questions. I'll be asking you the questions. Because it's a simple unit. I don't even have to discuss much. They're very straightforward. So at least you have to bring me 8 issues a carer faces. And I have discussed them already. I hope that is clear. Now, since the carer has these many issues, what can we do in order to support this carer? What are some of the support services that are available? Because we are interacting with the carer when we go and visit them on Monday and Tuesday, or Monday and Wednesday, example. So they may not know much about what kind of support services are available. And we might have to, because we are working in the industry, we might have to assist them and build a good relationship with the carers. Now, if you don't build a good relationship with the carers, obviously your relationship will be affected with the client as well. Because carer is the integral part of the client's life. Is that clear? Now, there is a particular website that gives us a lot of information about how to support carers, and it also gives a lot of information about, to the carers on what kind of support services are available for carers from government. Okay, the website is, I'll share the website with everyone. It's Carer Gateway. I've shared it with everyone. It's a Carer Gateway. This is a website that has a full information about what kind of support services are available for carers from government. They don't have to really pay much for this. Most of the things they don't even pay at all. Yeah. So this is a government support service provided by Australian government. So these are some of the support services that are available for the carers. Like there is a peer support group, counseling. Everyone, please write it down. All of these. Individually, all of these, I want you to write it down. I've sent you the link. Please save the link. Everyone. Now let's look at each of these. Now, before we get to that, these are some of the support services that are available for the carers. And apart from that, additionally, I want you to please add on more. Home nursing, Meals on Wheels.
Spelling of this one.
What is it?
Spelling.
Meals. Meals on Wheels. MEALS. Meals. Meals on Wheels. Home and Community Care. HACC. Home and Community Care. aged case,
Yeah.
aged case, day centers, no interest loans,
What exactly is this no
no
interest
interest loan.
loans?
Technically, what government does is they might give them a loan where they don't
Mhm.
have to pay any interest, or
Okay.
it might be, there are multiple reasons depending on the person's situation. For example, a client wants to buy a scooter.
Mhm.
Yeah, they might give some money, they go and buy it, and they don't pay interest for it, but they pay the principal every month a little bit, so that they can continue to live independently. Okay, and sometimes if the carer is young, there is also loan available for their education.
Okay.
Like now you have HEX, government support service, HEX,
Mhm.
those kind of services where they pay when they start working.
Okay.
So those
That's a
kind of
huge help.
there are a lot of support services. So the carers may not know this.
Mhm.
So what we have to do when we come across these different challenges, we refer carer to this particular website, okay, and also provide information about the additional things that I've given you, all right, so that they can go and get some help, all right. So let's look at each of these. Peer support group. Carer Gateway can help you to meet people who also care for a family member or a friend. By sharing stories, knowledge, and experience, you can learn from and support each other. It can be in person or online community forum. So you can read through this information. I'll give you a little bit of information here. So peer support group is, for example, you live in Point Cook, example. So within Point Cook, you might have a particular community. Yeah. So people might go and join an online forum or people can be connected through this particular website in your local area with the other carers, where they might, for example, say, myself and Simran, we are living in a particular suburb. Simran has a great grandfather who she's looking after. I have a great grandfather too, who I am looking after. So maybe both of them have dementia. So we are both in the same situation. So sometimes I might ask Simran, hey Simran, this is what is happening with my grandfather. Do you have any experience about this? Yeah, I do. And this is what you can do it will help you a lot. Sharing of knowledge. Sometimes since, I've been interacting with Simran for a while, I might say, hey Simran, your grandfather and my grandfather of same age, and they're, probably they're from same country as well. Why don't we have them together? And I go for work one day, you go for work one day, while I look after them, while you look after them. Is that clear? Something like that. That could also help with peer support groups. Okay. Additionally, Simran might say, hey, you know what? We also can get a little bit of benefit from Centrelink. Oh, is it? I didn't know about it. What do I do? Simran will tell me. Is that clear? That's basically, they're creating a connection between two carers so that could be a bit of help, education, or support wise. Okay, knowledge or support wise. Now, the next one is counseling. Now, in Peter's situation, he's got stress. He's lost a little bit of working hours, money, and his girlfriend left him. He's very sad. He's getting depressed, so on. Where can he go? He can go to the Carer Gateway and ask for counseling. I need some help, guys. I'm not able to cope with this situation. So they have in-person counseling, one-on-one. They have a group counseling. Peter can also call this particular number and have a counseling over the phone. Is that clear for everyone? In that situation where Peter is stressed for any reason. Online skill courses. Now I don't know how to manage. This is all new for me. What do I do? Dealing with stress. How do I deal with stress? How do I communicate properly with the elderly person? How do I recharge and reconnect myself? How do I look after myself? Sleep. How can I improve my social connections? What are some of the legal issues when I'm dealing and assisting my client, or I mean, my mom or a neighbor? Is that clear? That information is available. They can learn that information, watch that video according to their situation, right? The next one is there are some tailored package. They might go through all of these different tailor packages where they can get assistance for cooking and cleaning, assistance with shopping, and some other assistance with transportation and so on. There are some tailored package. They might probably go for a tailored package if they need one. Coaching, there are self-guided courses. They can go onto this particular website. They can open this. They can read a lot of information. It's a self-guided coaching, in-person coaching. They might conduct some webinars, seminars where they can go and join to gain additional knowledge on how to support themselves and the client. And emergency respite, I'll talk about the emergency respite in a minute. Other government support services are also available through this particular website, which is Age Care or NDIS or Disability Gateway or some other support organizations, okay, which can also help, okay? Is that clear for everyone? Anyone has any questions?
Can you repeat online skills unit?
Online skills, basically nothing but as see Peter is has never done certificate 3 in individual support course, to keep it simple. So as a son, I don't know how to look after the person. They're saying that you have to do this, but how do I do it? I don't know. I never did this course. I don't know what to do. So I might go and start reading. For example, you have done things like you have done this course, so if a person falls, you don't get them up. Maybe there's a fracture. But Peter doesn't know. Because that was not his job. He suddenly became a carer because it was a need. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Or additionally, he might be having other issues, like, how do I deal with my stress levels? Okay, I'm having counseling. I'm not able to sleep enough. What can I do? Maybe he can go and listen to that particular video or call this particular organization and ask for assistance through counseling. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it means. And now, apart from that, we have emergency respite. Emergency respite is emergency respite or respite. Keep it simple. Either the purpose is the same. So, for example, Peter has now met someone in his life. They have been together for 2 years now, new girlfriend. Yeah. She's happy to look after his mother as well. Okay. Because maybe she's also in a similar situation. Example. Now, so, but after 2 years, Peter feels like he needs to have a holiday. He wants to go out with his girlfriend for a holiday. Does he deserve one after 2 years of looking after his mother? Definitely yes. Then if Peter goes on holiday, who's going to look after his mother? That's when the respite service comes into the picture, where in every aged care, for example, an aged care has 100 beds. They have 5 rooms allocated for the respite services. So what happens is Peter will contact this particular organization, Care Gateway or aged cares directly, and ask for the assistance through respite service, where he can send his mom to the aged care for 14 days or 1 month while he's on holiday, so that he can go and have a peaceful holiday while someone is looking after his mother. Am I clear with that?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And this can also be a short-term one. For example, Peter's work said that, no, Peter, I want you to come on Wednesday and Thursday this week because we have an audit. And it's very important that you must be here. Or Peter had a sudden medical emergency himself. Okay. And he had to end up in a hospital. So who's going to look after his mother? That's when they can go for this particular emergency respite service, where someone will come and look after his mother at home or in aged care. Is that clear for everyone? Now, emergency respite, it's not pre-booked. You might probably contact today for next week. But respite service, the one pre-planned one, like holiday or something, then they have to make sure that it's booked in advance, so that they do not have any issues or challenges with accommodation for mother. Am I clear with this? Do anyone of you have any questions? Now, moving to the next one is the other support services like home nursing. Home nursing is technically if Mary needs some dressing changed. She doesn't have to go to the hospital or anywhere. The nurse will come home and assist her in changing the dressing. Example. Okay. Or an injection. Maybe nurse can come and give it. Meals on Wheels. As I mentioned earlier, Peter doesn't know how to cook. He's not a great cook. Mom is eating because at least his son is supporting with something. And she doesn't complain about it. So, but Peter definitely knows that he's not doing well with cooking. Sometimes he gets food from outside, sometimes he doesn't. So there's Meals on Wheels is a service where the food is delivered to the client's home according to their choice. Choice doesn't mean, you can order. It's like not like a very big menu. It's more like I'm allergic to these, don't include this, I don't eat meat, blah, blah, blah. Those kind of considerations can be taken. And the meals are delivered to the client's home. That's called a Meals on Wheels. Everyone knows what home and community care is. Everyone knows what an aged care is. All right. Now, what I expect you guys to do is I'll give you guys about 5 minutes. I want you to go through all of the support services on the Carers Gateway and the things that I have mentioned. And when I ask you without any hesitation, I need the answers from you. Now, if you do this properly, you are at least covering 3 to 4 questions out of 12. Out of 12 questions, you cover up to 3 to 4 questions. Very straightforward, yeah? Challenges, 2 to 3 questions. So it's a pretty simple unit, but it's all about you reading the information and understanding this information. So I give you 5 minutes on this one. I want everyone to get onto the Carers Gateway website. It's available in your public chat as well. I want you to go through this and be prepared with your responses. And I might ask anyone, as I mentioned. All right, you get 5 minutes. You can be off the camera or on the camera. It doesn't matter for me, as long as you give me an answer when you come back.